The procedure that we're going to be using to upload to GitHub is the one that I think is going to work best for this class. And we can do it right from VS Code. In order to do it, we need to install the extension GitHub Pull Requests and Issues extension. I happen to have it installed, but if you need to look for it, you can basically key in GitHub, and it's the first one. Okay, so that is the one that you need to install. Your next step is to connect your VS Code to your GitHub account. Okay, and so that is done by clicking on Accounts. And if it's not connected, you're going to have a little blue flag here. Mine is already connected. So what's going to happen? Maybe I'll sign out. Okay, back up to my folders. Yours will have a blue flag, and when you click, it is going to open up your default browser, and you're going to have to log into GitHub. And then you're going to have to authorize VS Code to access it. When you see that it was successful, it is going to prompt you to open VS Code. And you do need to open the application, even if it's already open, because there's an authorization token that it needs to apply. And I can see that it looks like I'm already signed in. Okay. So once you make this connection, which it's hard for me to show you because mine is already connected. Let me exit out of here and try to open it again now that I've signed out. Okay, so this is what you guys are going to see. This little blue thing. So you're going to click on that. Sign into GitHub. Okay, and so you do need to authorize. And now this is the prompt I was talking about, so you need to click on that. And then you need to say open. So even if it was opened, you still need to go through and do that. And then you'll notice that it is connected. Okay. So at this point, if you don't have GitHub installed on your system, you do need to install it. In fact, if we click on source control, which is this button, if you don't have GitHub, it'll tell you. Okay, you will see a command link to install GitHub. And that command link should take you to this page. Okay, and what you need to do is download GitHub. There's a link for that right here. Okay, so you need to download and install that. Once you have it installed, you can use it in VS Code. So at this point, if you had to install GitHub, you should exit out of VS Code and then open VS Code again. Because if you exit out and then you open it again, when you click on source control, okay, you should not see that link anymore. what you'll see is something that should look like what I have. So what we're going to do is we're going to publish everything that is in our CIT 228 folder, and we're going to do that basically each week. Each week we're going to be adding to the 228 folder, and it will track what is new, and then we'll continue publishing our new files, and that's how you're going to be turning in your work. So what you need to do is make sure that the 228 folder is what is selected. Okay, so that should be open. And then we're going to select source control, and we're going to choose initialize repository. By default, it's the active folder is the one that it uses. So initially, all of the files are going to have U's next to them. So the little U's mean untracked. And to make using this a little bit easier, we're going to click on this ellipsis next to source control. And we're going to go into views and turn on source control repositories, because that shows our main master folder, CIT 228. Next step, we're going to click on the ellipsis, the 3 periods next to CIT 228 Git. And we're going to choose the changes submenu. And we're going to say stage all changes. Okay, and then you're going to notice that it changes because now these are staged. They're not on GitHub yet. And what we're going to do, we are going to commit them, but we want a little message to go with them. So we're going to key in initial commit. And then we're going to click on the ellipsis next to CIT 228 Git again. And we're going to go to commit, and we're going to commit staged. Okay, so we're about half done. At this point, you need to go out to GitHub. So you have to go out to your account, and you need to create a repository for CIT 228. And I thought I had one. I'll go ahead and do one. CIT 228. Let's see, course assignments. Now, you guys need to leave yours public. I'm going to switch mine to private. Otherwise, you guys can just copy all of mine, which is not learning. And I'm going to go ahead and create a repository. Make sure you guys have yours as public because I need to be able to access those so I can correct them. After you create your repository, you're going to copy the URL, and you're going to go back into VS Code, and you're going to open a terminal window. You're going to wait for the prompt. It should be looking at your CIT 228 folder, and we need to enter a little command that's going to connect our folder on our system to our GitHub repo. And that command is git space remote add origin, and then give it the URL. So I just pasted it right in there. So git remote add origin with your URL. Let me press enter. Interesting. Yours probably does not say that it already exists. Mine is, because I've done this command more than once. So we're going to go ahead and click the ellipses and try to push. And when you get, if you get a little message like this, you are going to go ahead and click OK. And it should put your lesson 2 folder and all of the files on the directory. So once it's done, you should be able to reload, and you should see your lesson and all of the files. And what you need to submit to the Dropbox is you're going to click on the URL. You're going to Control-C to copy. That is what you need to paste into the Dropbox so I can correct your assignment.